Hello BookTube, it's Joshua here, and I'm going to be trying a new thing on this channel, a new poetry adventure, because I want to read this book, 1000 Years of Irish Poetry. And I'm thinking, just as I'm reading chronologically through the New Oxford Book of English Verse, I would like to read chronologically or loosely chronologically through this book. I don't have much experience with Irish poetry. I've hardly read any of it. I've only dipped into this book a little bit, so I think this will be really interesting to see what the Irish poets have written. So I'm gonna start at the beginning. This first section. Hold on a sec. This first section says, Part 1, Ancient Irish Poetry, from early pagan times through the 15th century. And I'm gonna read to you this little bit of history before I read you the poem. Attributed to Amergin or Amergin. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Dr. Douglas Hyde writes in his Literary History of Ireland that the first poems written in Ireland were said to have been those of Amergin or Amergin, who was brother of Evir, Ir, and Eramon, the first Milesian princes who colonized Ireland many hundreds of years before Christ. He adds that the three pieces of verse ascribed to Amergin are very ancient and very strange, but the whole story of the Milesian invasion is wrapped in mystery. Quote, no faith can be placed in the alleged date or genuineness of Amergin's verses. Irish tradition has always represented them as being the first verses made in Ireland. The mystery and the invocation, which follow, are considered incantations rather than poems. There are also references in the early literature indicating that the belief in reincarnation was held among the Druids. These poems are made in the alliterative chain verse, which precedes the bardic poetry, and are from the Leabar Gabala, or Book of Invasions. Okay, so that was the note in front over top of the poem, and now I'll read you these two poems which are attributed to Amergin. The first is titled The Mystery, and here it is. I am the wind which breathes upon the sea. I am the wave of the ocean. I am the murmur of the billows. I am the ox of the 7 combats. I am the vulture upon the rocks. I am a beam of the sun. I am the fairest of plants. I am a wild boar in valor. I am a salmon in the water. I am a lake in the plain. I am a word of science. I am the point of the lance of battle. I am the god who created in the head the fire. Who is it who throws light into the meeting on the mountain? Who announces the ages of the moon? Who teaches the place where couches the sun, if not I? And that was translated by Douglas Hyde. I think a great amount of the poetry in this book was written in Irish, and so it has to be, and thus has to be translated, of course. It's a very enigmatic poem, I find, of course, because the title is called The Mystery, so I suppose it's meant to be enigmatic. But this poem kind of connects to what's said here in the note. There are also references in the early literature indicating that the belief in reincarnation was held among the Druids. It seems like this repetition of I am this and I am that, I am this piece of nature, I am that piece of nature. Maybe that's maybe that's hinting towards their belief in reincarnation. So the next poem is The Invocation to Ireland. I invoke the land of Ireland. Much coursed be the fertile sea. Fertile be the fruit-strewn mountain. Fruit-strewn be the showery wood. Showery be the river of waterfalls. Of waterfalls be the lake of deep pools. Deep pooled be the hilltop well, a well of tribes be the assembly, an assembly of kings be Tamer. Tamer be a hill of tribes, the tribes of the sons of Mill of the ships, the barks. Let the lofty bark be Ireland, lofty Ireland, darkly sung, an incantation of great cunning, the great cunning of the wives of Bress, the wives of Bress, of Buwain, the great lady of Ireland. Eramon hath conquered her, ere Eber have invoked for her. I invoke the land of Ireland. So that's pretty interesting. Again, it's very enigmatic. The note here says that Tamer equals Tara, sanctuary and palace fortress of the high kings and chief druids in pagan Ireland. So that's kind of interesting. It seems like a lot of this is just a description of Ireland and of Irish tribes, perhaps. I really don't know, but it's I really like what it's doing here, like how it'll take a word from the last part of the line and then repeat it in the first part of the next line, and it's kind of interlocking like that. I think that's really cool. And this poem was translated by R.A.S. McAllister and Eowyn McNeil. But okay, so that'll probably be all for today. Thank you for watching, and if you have any thoughts about what I just talked about, feel free to leave a comment, and I hope you all have a good day. Goodbye.